The Xbox 360 was everywhere, and if not in your living room, then in your friends or your cousins, or heck, even your workplace break room. Nowadays, you'd be hard-pressed to find a new Xbox, let alone see consistent marketing for it. But here at Nostalgic Video Games, the mid-2000s are everywhere. In this series, we're going to be taking a look back at this beloved console, seeing its successes, its many failures, and its legacy. Drop your favorite Xbox 360 memory in the comments down below. My favorite has got to be Halo Reach LAN parties at my buddy's house for his birthday. We had SpongeBob Trap remixes going. His dog was there. We were in his basement that had just like exposed drywall, unfinished concrete floors, had like 4 TVs set up. It was fantastic. The Xbox 360 was Microsoft's second foray into the console market, the follow-up to their insanely successful Xbox, which is no longer referred to as the Xbox One because now that's a thing, and there's also the One S and One X, but there's also the Xbox Series S and Series X, and so now what used to be the Xbox One is the original Xbox, or just Xbox, but then the new one is just kind of just Xbox, but it's Series S, so they call it the Series, which is just kind of redundant. I mean, thank God they named this one something distinctive, because I think otherwise my frontal lobe would melt. Released in 2005, the Xbox 360 was a part of the seventh generation of consoles, among its peers like Sony's PlayStation 3 and Nintendo's Wii. Now, you can argue all day about which one of these consoles was better, which one had more sales, which one had the better exclusives, but none of that matters in the face of nostalgia. The 360 is one of the ultimate nostalgia machines. Not only were they everywhere, but the vast and varied library of games made the Xbox 360 one of the most versatile consoles ever made. Now, I'm not here to spit numbers or facts at you. This is YouTube. I'm here to complain very loudly and sometimes gush about how much I love video games. This is our opinion and informed observations from owning a used game store for almost 10 years now. At Nostalgic, we get all sorts of people coming in looking for new games, accessories, consoles, and a whole lot of people that just don't really know what they're looking for. Be it someone who wants to dive into gaming on their own for the first time, or start their kids off with a brand new console, or a parent whose child has told them something very specific and we need to play charades over the phone with them to figure out what it actually is. Depending on the age and exactly what they're looking for, if you're looking solely for a retro experience or something a bit more varied, I'll almost always say the Xbox 360. Now, the 360 had an impressive library of widely varied games, from exclusives like Halo and Gears of War and Forza, to the LEGO games, to puzzle games, digital-only arcade titles, horror games, and even a significant portion of the original Xbox's library playable on their consoles through backwards compatibility. There is something for everyone on the Xbox 360. Yeah, a lot of these games were also released for the PlayStation 3, but depending on the game, a lot of times the PS3 copies will be a little more expensive, let alone the price of those consoles being quite a bit more expensive as well, especially if you got one of them 4 USB first model ones that can play PS2 games. But PlayStation and Sony really drove home the story-focused third-person shooters and their more mature titles, and the Xbox's brand was quite a bit more inclusive. Every single week at Nostalgic Video Games, we have a little meeting where we go over all of the previous week's sale data, and almost without exception, every single week, our top seller is either PS2 games or Xbox 360 games. A lot of that depends on what kind of new product we got going out, because it really all depends on what people are selling us at the time. So if we get a huge collection of N64 games in, yeah, N64 will be pretty high on the list, and maybe even number one, since some of those games are crazy expensive. But just in terms of sheer quantity, PS2 and Xbox 360 are neck and neck every single week. And that's impressive considering the insane amount of nostalgia, brand weight, versatility, and insanely huge library of games that the PS2 has. I mean, not only is there a fantastic selection of games, there's also a crazy selection of different exclusive consoles, controllers, and accessories. There are plenty of different colors and special editions, even branded ones like this R2-D2 Star Wars one that makes the R2-D2 noise when you start it up. I made a video on that, go check it out. And just general model changes. You can really find a 360 that just fits the vibe of your game room. You can swap out hard drives super easy, depending on the model, external or internal. You've even got the Kinect if you want to dance with Han Solo or, I don't know, hunt ghosts. You've got DDR and Just Dance. You can either have the dance pad or you can use the Kinect with those games. You've got Guitar Hero and Rock Band so you can jam out with your homies. And you got weird trivia games with crazy specific controllers so everyone can get in on the fun. Yeah, the 360 wasn't the ultimate entertainment center like the PS3 liked to pretend it was. It couldn't play Blu-rays, it didn't really have the same kind of music and app compatibility, but it really was the ultimate versatile game console. It's really cool to see the Xbox Series X kind of take up that mantle again after they sort of fumbled the ball with the Xbox One, allowing for an already huge selection and adding new ones all the time of Xbox 360 and original Xbox games playable on that 2001 A Space Odyssey looking gaming machine. They really marketed the Series X as a game machine. This thing is for gaming. Whereas the PS5 was kind of like, I don't know, artsy, fartsy, flowy with the PlayStation. It was like, okay. Yeah, the 360 isn't the second coming of Christ. But this puppy, it's versatile. And it's affordable. It's super easy to get a hold of, super easy to buy tons of games and accessories, and it's easy on the bank account. And I, for one, will always have a place in my heart for the Xbox 360. Well, not all of it. Now, it's undeniable that the 360 had a bit of a rocky start, and over its lifespan, there were quite a few problems. Most notably, and by the end of its run in April 2016, Microsoft made this puppy a labor of love. I think the best way to describe it is that, PS5 and Xbox Series X, those are your Mustangs, your Chargers. Those are the things that everybody wants. They look really sick. Everybody will want to be you. They'll want to be with you. If you got one, it's just crazy. This is your Toyota Corolla, your Honda Civic, your Prius. This puppy will get you where you're going, and it'll do it efficiently, it'll do it effectively, and it'll probably outlive you. The Atari 2600, it's like an old junker Ford. It's a Ford. So, it's got its purists. It's got the fan base, but, in the end, is it really that good? Beats walking, I suppose. Now, the PS2, oh man, that's like a classic Camaro. That's like Bumblebee. I gotta move on. If you enjoyed, you could subscribe. It means a lot to us here. We even have channel memberships now. If you want to be an NVG trooper, you get some cool emojis, a little badge next to your name, and it's all for $2.99 a month, and you get to support us directly and help us continue making fun content for you guys. Our online store, shopnvg.com, is on its way. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. Subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Did I mention subscribing? Thanks for tuning into the Nostalgic Network, and I'll see you next time.